All right, eighth graders, today you are going to be working on some different study skills starting this off, and we're going to be doing a marking the text activity. Now, some of you have probably seen this before. Some of you might already be in practice of doing this, and some of you have maybe never ever seen or done this before. Even if you've seen it, some of you probably aren't in the habit of using it. So what we want you to understand is some skills that are going to help you to be more successful as you continue through high school, but also beyond. So today we're going to be looking at marking the text and nonfiction. So when you're looking at that, you see there's this handout has some different things on it. Number one, number the paragraphs. So when you are reading a text, if you number those paragraphs, it's going to be really helpful to you as you go back through and try to find pieces of information. As an English teacher, I will tell you this is incredibly helpful when students are needing to cite sources, document quotes from the text, all those different pieces, or finding different examples in the text. It will be very helpful to you if you have them numbered. Second thing is circle the key terms, cited authors, and other essential words. So if you look there, it says in order to identify a key term, consider if the word or phrase is repeated. So if you're hearing something over and over, there's a reason for that. If they're defining something, so if the author is telling you what something is, it's used to explain or represent an idea, used in an original or unique way, or a central idea or concept, and something that's relevant to one's reading purpose. So you got to think about, why are you reading this? If I told my language arts students, we're reading a story and I want you to be paying attention to the voice and the tone of voice that is used in the story, I'm going to be wanting them to look for those different phrases, quotations, how the words are making them feel and experience. If I am reading an article, which we're going to do today, you'll see the difference in what I'm asking you to look for. And then number three is underline the author's claims and other important or other information that's relevant to your purpose. So a claim is a statement that's made by the author. They're telling you, here's the data, here's the facts of what they are stating. It can appear anywhere in the text. It doesn't have to be in an argument. So, kind of sometimes you have to infer that from what they're talking about. They can make more than one claim, and they may be telling you their position on a topic, and that could be their claim as well. So I'm going to push this over to the side of my screen. If you saw how I do that, there's a new trick for you too. If you've not done that before, that is just you going ahead and doing a split screen, because then it helps you as you're looking through an article. So you can do this on paper or on the computer, either way. For myself, normally I prefer to do it actually on paper, because then I have something that I'm actually interacting with and working with. I get out my highlighters, pens, and that's how I do that. So we're going to be looking at this article today, Understanding Gen Z, Ready for Learning, Earning, and Life. Okay, so we're going to be using an article that's really relevant to what you're working on Packer Profile and trying to understand why you need to know some of these things for later, and why might you even need to use this whole text thing, Mrs. Hubland? Well, here is going to be some of the why. So you can see here, American Student Assistance. This is the article that we're going to work with, and I'm going to take you through the first part with marking the text, and then you're going to do more of this on your own once we're done. So I would say, here's paragraph 1. So I'm going to mark that. Here's paragraph 2. Don't mind my writing here. Paragraph 3, 4, 5, 5, paragraph 6, and then that's the end of it. So I've got my 6 paragraphs numbered. So I've done this first step over here, and that's done. Now, if you're looking at like a word problem for math or some other subject, you can also do this. Okay, then it says I'm going to circle the key terms cited by the author. So if I see things that are repeated now, I'm going to read it once, and then I'm going to read it again. I am wanting you to read today for understanding of how to mark the text, but also why you need some of the skills that you are working on developing here. So it says the ASU and GSV ASA convened a panel of experts to discuss the ideas of getting students prepared for their futures in school, work, and life. Okay, so they're looking at getting ideas of students prepared for the future in life. I'm going to highlight that actually. I'm going to say experts discuss for for students prepare for the future in school, work, and life? I want to know that. That seems pretty important. What can educators, parents, and organizations do to ensure that all kids leave school with confidence to take their unique next step and armed with the knowledge and skills they need to get there? Okay, also knowledge and skill. Those are important things. I'm going to say to you, knowledge and skills to get there. So after school. Okay. So our philanthropy program manager, Jill Cox Ornell, was joined by Max Baxter of Roddle, Utanka, Tamara of NXU, and Andrew Tucker of the Collaborative for Academic, Social, and Emotional Learning. Okay, that's a lot. So those are like some big experts in these fields. That's what I need to know there. Well, you can watch the whole conversation here. What follows is a summary of their conversation. Okay, so now we're getting into it. Are students leaving college ready for their next step? That's like the second time I've heard that, you guys. So are they leaving ready for their next steps, right? I want to know that. Today, we can say that with some certainty, the answer is generally no, they're not. Students don't feel prepared. Okay, so I'm seeing prepared again. And our research shows. But they also aren't prepared for the next steps that are widely encouraged to follow. College. Less than half of states have high school graduation requirements that don't meet the minimum standards for admission at a state's flagship university. However, even if university isn't the goal, we can also say they aren't necessarily leaving school with the skills they need to go directly into the workforce. Okay, we're seeing skills again and being ready. Okay, so something has to change for these panelists and the ASA. That means taking a hard look at the skills, there it is again, and the types of learning that are happening in schools, starting with middle school. Social emotional learning, self-discovery work, finding purpose and identity, building emotional wellness, social capital, and having chances to do structured career exploration are all the absolutely critical to changing both the narrative and the reality for our kids coming out of school. Whoa, okay, you guys, that's big. Finding purpose, I'm going to go back here actually. Social emotional, self-discovery, finding purpose and identity, building social emotional wellness are critical, highlight that, to changing the narrative, the reality of kids coming out of school. Like, this is what we need. Oddly enough, this is exactly what you are doing with your Work Through Packer profile, is you're looking at some of those areas of social, emotional, self-discovery, finding purpose and identity, building emotional wellness, social capital, and having chances to do structured career exploration. This is what you're doing, okay? So you can see I've started to go through. And at the end of this, I'll be able to say, like, okay, this is what this article was about. Now, if I asked you to go back and find some information to show me, hey, tell me from paragraph 1 what stood out to you, you can go back in there and you see that. Paragraph 2, well, okay, so we have the requirements. So requirements meet the standards. We do. But we're still seeing that kids aren't prepared. So what's going on? We need to make sure our students are feeling prepared, but also that they are prepared, whether that be school, college, 2-year college, or the workforce. It does not matter what area you go into, but making sure you're prepared. And then I'm digging in here deeper. So now what you're going to do in your class is you're going to take this article and you're going to finish that. And you're going to see what you come up with, and your teachers are going to discuss with you, what did you find from each paragraph that stands out, to help you understand, number 1, this strategy of marking the text, and number 2, how what you're doing here right now today is preparing you for that next step that you will continue to, whatever that might be after school. So this marking the text document will be available to you through your teachers and can be used in any subject areas. And then this article you guys will be able to discuss today. So take some time now to finish that article, and then your teachers will discuss more with you further. Thank you.